Hello, I'm joined today by Dr Lauren Peck, a recent graduate of the University of Queensland, former president of the UQ Medical Society and valedictorian in 2018. Lauren, great to see you again.
Hi, Stuart.
So you were the valedictorian at graduation this year, quite an achievement, and you gave a compelling talk to all the graduates. But I wonder whether you could reflect back on your entire time here at UQ, and what advice would you give to people starting their medical program?
It's a funny question. I get asked that a lot, and I feel like I roll out a different answer every time, depending on who's asking. I think my answer is always very cliche. It always goes something along the lines of enjoy every moment. The 4 years go very, very quickly, and it's easy to get bogged down in the assessments and some of the stress. And I think if you don't stop and smell the roses, you're going to miss out on things. So that would be my kernel of advice.
You talk about smelling the roses. So what roses would you recommend people sort of take time to stop and enjoy?
Well, I'm incredibly biased, of course, and I think the UQMS is great and provides lots of fun opportunities to network and extend your learning. But I'm also a big believer in keeping your identity outside of medicine and making time for family and friends, both within med and outside, because they're the people that keep you really grounded and will pick you up when things get tough. So I guess that's what I mean by smelling the roses.
Now you were a key player within the UQ Medical Society and also president of UQ Mind. So why was UQ Mind so important to you? So
UQ Mind was started by a group of medical students at the end of my first year who were really passionate about the fact that something needed to be done about student mental health and wellbeing at UQ. And at that point in time, there wasn't really a lot. We were a really, really big cohort. We were the first MD year level, and we were all feeling a little bit lost. And I could see in the people around me as well as myself that things were tough, and there wasn't a clear path of people to go to if people were finding things hard. And so I guess UQ Mind grew out of that, and the idea behind it being that it's more useful to develop preventative strategies than reactive strategies, but also to have structures in place for both.
So what advice would you give to students who are perhaps struggling or sort of need additional help?
Always ask for help, I think, and try and, I think it's double-fold. I think it's really important to try and figure out what your tells are early on. That was something I often told my committee this year, because we were often under a bit of pressure, is knowing those little things that you start to do when things are becoming a bit too much and you need to take a break or wind back or talk to someone. And then secondly, when you're noticing those moments, or if it's past that moment and you are struggling, talk to someone. Don't go through it alone. I think that was a moment that really struck me in my first year as I was having a bad week. I was feeling homesick, or assessments were hard or something, I can't remember. And I actually was really honest with a friend one day about, I'm feeling average, like things are hard, I'm not having fun. And this friend said back to me like, me too. And then I was like, oh my God, like if this is how I'm feeling, I'm like a chatterbox. I talk about my feelings, like that's what I do. What are the people doing who don't do that? And so I think it's really important to create a culture where it's possible for people to say, stuff's hard right now, but I'm getting through, but can you be an extra shoulder for me to lean on just for the moment so I can get better?
I think it's really important, and you've certainly helped us as a sort of community, as a faculty, to sort of to think strategically about what we can do to proactively and reactively improve the support that we provide to our students. But as you say, this is sort of about creating a sense of community and a sense of sort of caring for each other, because of course if we don't care for ourselves and care for each other, we're not able to care ultimately for the patients we're going to be looking after in the years to come.
Absolutely. I think sometimes we're very good at caring for our patients. It's our autopilot, but people find it really, really challenging to look at themselves and care for themselves, or even people could be really tough on their peers, like, because I find it something that's really curious that we can be so compassionate for our patients, but sometimes we fall short when we're for our peers and for ourselves.
Indeed, and speaking of patients though, you're moving into your intern year shortly. So how do you feel about that?
Oh, terrified. No, not terrified. It still feels a long way away. It doesn't, honestly, the past week with graduation and everything has been a bit of a whirlwind, and I don't think it's hit me yet. I'm not sure when it's going to, but I'm really excited just to get in there and start working though. I'm really excited to stop being the kind of medical student standing in the background. I'm ready to step up and have some responsibility, but there are elements that still feel really scary. Like, I think the first time I'll be handed an ECG will be a terrifying moment.
But you'll rise to the challenge.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thank you very much for being an inspiring valedictorian, for all you've done with the UQMS, and we look forward to hearing about your many successes throughout the rest of your medical career.
Thank you.
you.